Hello. 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 Thank you for checking in. Great to see everybody. Hello. It is Thursday. And every Thursday is a regular feature of Live with Lorielle New called Stupid Question Day, where I put on the genius cap. Right here. The genius cap. We have chat in the hat. The genius cap, which allows me to answer any question about any topic in the entire universe with complete accuracy. Guaranteed. So I hope you have some questions for the genius, some burning questions, not rashes, burning questions that need answers from a genius. I'm here at your service. Yes, and I hope everybody's, I hope the connection's working today. It was weird the other day. Hello, hello. And I am on YouTube and Google Hangouts simultaneously. So if you're having trouble with YouTube, if you're having trouble with the Google Hangouts, try YouTube. There's a lag. There is a lag, but I am reading both screens, so feel free to check in. Let me see. Is YouTube working? Does anyone know? Is YouTube working correctly? It says YouTube is live, but I have no picture, so let me know if anyone's having trouble. So, all right, I don't know if it's working. Is the connection working okay for everyone? Hello. David Jones has the first important question for Stupid Question Day. He wants to know, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? Now, Tootsie Roll themselves had said that it was a 1, a 2, a 3. 3 licks to get to the center of the Tootsie Pop. However, I would like to say that I could get to that center in 1. A determined Tootsie Pop lover could get to the center in 1. It would be... Yes. And I want to give a special shout. Oh, I forgot to say hello. Hello, let me say hello to everybody. Hello, Star and Shocker and Sturgis Guy and T-Sis and House of Dave and Sam and St. Clinton and Eric and Petey and Tim and Ryan and Photo and Philip and Mark Mean and Star Raven and Angie Jonas and Fairies Lover and Lucky Girl and Azure Yusuf and LaCram and Marcel and Jim Dandy and Bill Knaus and Scott Kimmis and Jim Dandy and Sturgis Guy and T-Sis and Lucky Girl and Sue and Allure Star and Sam and St. Clinton and N1QOV and Joe Barney. Thank you for checking in. Hello! Hello! I hope the connection's working okay, Linda. And special shout out to Sam and Philip. Thank you both for your messages. I hope you're both feeling better. I got a special message from somebody who actually watched a replay of yesterday's show. Yesterday's show, interestingly enough, turned out to be all about porn. And luckily it turned out to be entertaining. In the replay, I was afraid of what the replay was. What the hell is this? Yeah, so I'm told that it was entertaining and made people smile, so yay! Tisa says, if you could have anyone locked in a room so that you could torment them for a day, who would you choose and how would you torment them? That is an interesting question because there are so many people that I would like to torment, Thesis, and locked up. A lot of the people that I would like to torment would probably be some of the more abrasive and judgmental and conservative negative political people that you see in the news. For instance, hey, why is that doing that? I think I would I think Chief Justice Anthony Scalia. I think he would be on my top of my list. Some of those people who say that there's no such thing as global warming and climate change, they might be on my list. Some of those people who say it's okay for Monsanto to poison us with chemicals and GMO food, he's not. Oh, okay. Justice Anthony. I gave him an extra chief. He doesn't deserve the chief. You're right. Thank you for correcting that, David Jones. Linda Jones adds to the list. Rush Limbaugh, Donald Trump. Yes, 2 excellent candidates for torture. People who talk way more than they should have. People who have been around way past their expiration date. Way past their expiration date. Thank you, Allura. Allura, for point. Did I say Dave? Allura gave their suggestions. Yes. You know when food is past its expiration date, it gets spoiled and rotten and stinky and yes. Way past their expiration date. Jay just spewing a poison into the universe. And, you know, yesterday I was talking about celebrating Nina Hartley for being 57 and doing what she wants to do and not letting age be a factor. And today in the news there's a big thing about Maggie Gyllenhaal, an extremely talented, award-winning actress who's been in top leads in top films. She's 37, and was recently told that she was too old to play the love interest of a male actor who is 55. That's almost 20. That's 18 years older than her. Yeah, what the hell? And the second controversy is also one of the girls, Rebel Wilson, who's on The Perfect Pitch. She's Australian. She's a little overweight. She's an Australian comedian. Turns out she's not 29. She's 35. There was a huge hubbub. Oh my God! She plays a college student in these Perfect Pitch movies. Fat Amy. She's very funny. Guess what? She's not 29. She's ancient at 35, which is 2 years younger than Maggie Gyllenhaal. So apparently, she could now go from playing college student to still too old to be the female lead opposite a 55-year-old guy. Which is sad because, hello, half the sky! Women are half the population. However, in movies, they're like 12% of the population. And women over 40 are like 1% of the population of the universe in films and movies. What the hell? There's this crazy idea that movies or entertainment or advertising is only supposed to be directed to people who are like 21. What the hell? When we know that the population is aging, baby boomers, there's a huge age. That is disrespectful to an entire segment of the population. One of my favorite movies that I saw this year, the second best, Marigold Hotel, which is a sequel to the first Marigold Hotel. The first one, it stars a bunch of old actors, people in their 60s, 70s, 80s. And it's about love and relationships with old people. None of them are, they're people actors whose names you know, but they're not enormous stars. but they're actors 60s, 70s, 80s. An enormous hit, huge hit. The first one was made for $10 million, which is a tiny budget for films, and grossed $200 million. That is an incredible return on investment. So I don't know why. It boggles my mind as to why American film producers and advertisers are fixated on only catering to 21-year-olds, when obviously this case in point proves that there's an enormous market, a very lucrative market for movies about older people. There's a huge population of old people. People are getting sick, people are dying, because they're all old. So why are you only making movies, only wanting to show people that are a tiny segment of the population? It makes me crazy! David, that's not true, David Jones. It makes me crazy! Tisa says, would you be willing to have horrible nightmares every night for a year if you would be rewarded with extraordinary wealth? I already have horrible nightmares! Jesus, where's my extraordinary wealth? Hi, Wing Doggy. Hello. So there's my rant. There's my editorial rant about things that are making me crazy. Ageism, sexism, racism. I'm against all of those. Racism, sexism, ageism. It makes me crazy. David Jones says makes. David Jones. This, I'm not crazy. Let me just state for the record, this is righteous indignation. Righteous indignation. Tisa says, would you enjoy spending a month of solitude in a beautiful natural setting with food and shelter provided, but you would not see another person? I can do that easy. Easy. Spend a month in solitude in nature? Yes. That sounds wonderful. David Jones says, can anyone see that you're wearing a hat through the window? They could if they were actually in front of my window. But because the window's here and then my car is right outside of the window, there's like only a foot and a half between my car and the window, so you can't really see in unless you get in between my car and the window. And then it's weird because what the hell are you doing sneaking in the side of my house? So no, nobody can really see me unless they sneak up in the side of my house, which people have done. And then I have to yell at them. Say, hello, this is my house. Hello, don't pee. Thank you. Hello, Wing Dog. No worries. Thank you for checking in. Great to see you. Sturgis Guy says, Sturgis Guy is calling me crazy. Sturgis Guy, I'm a crazy hat lady every day of the year. Tesis has an interesting question, which is topical relating to today's news. Have you ever been sexually attracted to a family member or a person of an inappropriate age? No, I have not, actually. But speaking of which, excellent question, because today we learned out, and you know, I have to say, I'm not surprised, and I bet most of you are not surprised. Yes, the one of the oldest Duggar boys, Duggars, I don't know, 20 and counting Duggars, which to me, there's already something suspicious in the back of my head when a family has has 20 kids. All right, something weird is going on there already. Okay, let's be real. There's something weird already. You're having 20 kids. Oh yeah. So turns out, when oldest boy, who's now 27, when he was a teenager, was molesting other girls, including his sisters, because they're the only girls around. He's surrounded by girls, and they're his sister. Yes, molesting them, forcibly molesting, touching breasts and vaginas of girls who are sleeping, and some awake, some asleep. The Duggars prayed real hard about it, prayed that he would stop, had him... Yeah! I'm already creeped out by the family who's had 20 kids, is obsessed with their conservatism and religion. So often we find when people spend so much effort talking about how pious and religious and conservative they are, there's always something that comes out of the closet. There's always a skeleton that comes out of the closet. Whether it's some sort of preacher from a mega church who turns out he's seeing prostitutes or having gay sex, even though he spent the last 10 years preaching against gays, turns out he's gay. Or we're so conservative, turns out our son is a child molester. Or, yeah, I think anytime you spend so much energy protesting against something, there's a high percentage of the time that what you're protesting against is what you're actually doing. You find that a lot. Does anyone else notice that? Like, yeah, usually the thing that you talk about and you protest against, Linda says, yes, but not me. Well, maybe you don't spend as much time protesting against that. The people that spend all day long complaining about something, it's usually what they're doing. If you're in a relationship with somebody who's constantly talking about they think you're cheating, it's probably because they're cheating. It just turns out that, yeah. So, yes, creeped out by the Duggars before I found out that the brother was molesting his sisters. I was creeped out years ago. Yeah, I'm creeped out by, remember when we had this whole thing? Yes. And Linda says, and still the Bill Cosby stuff goes on. Yes. So far there's like 40 women. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Because this is spanning like 30 years. These women are in their 40s to 70s. Yeah, they're like grandmothers who are saying, yeah, he molested me, he raped me 30 years ago. Yeah, they're just ridiculous. David Jones says, is it better to have a job that you love or be financially independent? Case in point. Would you rather be an actress or would you rather be rich? Hello? Do I need to say anything more? Tisa says, have you told your partner about all your past relationships? No. I started to and he fell asleep and got bored. Linda says, I know all about Gerald's stuff. Well, yeah, there's not, there. Well, Linda, both you and Gerald got together so young, there wasn't that much to talk about. It would be one thing to get together as young as you were, you and Gerald. As opposed to now, let's say somebody who was older and started a new relationship, there might be a lot more to talk about. After a while, you're like, whatever. Whatever. Linda says you'd be surprised by how much experience Gerald was able to pack into those few years. All right. Jesus says, what about your future? Well, that is shocking. Shocking, I say! Well, I would like to see David Jones says, I would move to an island in France in a heartbeat. Yes, I would, actually. Jesus says, would you be willing to give up sex for 1 year if you knew it would give you a much deeper sense of peace than you have now? Peace? What do you mean, peace? That's a year of no peace, not having a peace. And that's assuming that I have any peace now. We're assuming that I have a greater sense of peace. How could you possibly have a sense of peace without sex? I cannot fathom, I cannot comprehend that question. How can there be peace without sex? I'm dumbfounded. I actually just read an article about sexless marriages, and oftentimes people complain about, or you hear people joking about women not wanting sex, but what happens when it's the man, you're married for 10, 15, 20 years, and the man doesn't want sex? Because it's physically, biologically, the hormones of men and women decrease as you get older and older. You lose, and men lose testosterone, which is what creates a sex drive. So a man over 40, 50, 60, whatever age he is, has a much lower testosterone level than when he had in his 20s and 30s. And that causes a huge reduction in sex drive. Now, some men get testosterone therapy supplements to help that. Some men feel very uncomfortable and will not talk about that. But I just read an article about that, and women were talking about how they'll go years, marriages that go years without having sex. Sounds pretty bleak. And then there's also testosterone therapy because men have lost their sex drive, and women can have hormone therapy also to improve their sex drives if they've lost it. There's also physically, sometimes your circulatory system is not functioning as properly, and if you can have erectile dysfunction because you're not getting a proper blood flow, things don't function. So sometimes there's a need for medical help, Viagra's and Cialis's to help with that. David Jones suggests getting a personal massager. Jesus says he would like to get some peace too. And Linda just yes, Linda wants to remind everyone it shouldn't last 4 hours. At a certain point in your life, if you're lasting 4 minutes, that's a good day. David Jones says tantric sex can last for hours. What the hell kind of torture is that? I don't have the patience for sex that lasts 4 hours. It means I gotta get up in the middle of it, get a sandwich, and go to the bathroom and come back. That's too long! Sturgis guy said he started a tantric orgasm in 1990 that is still going on. Ah! Yeah, 1990, that's... Yes. Sturgis guy has been having a 25-year-long orgasm. There's actually medical cases of people who have, like, cases of sneezing or hiccuping or burping for, like, 10, 20 years. Turns out to be very disruptive. There is such a thing as too much of a good thing. Oh, yes, and there's also medical cases of men and women who have spontaneous, non-stop orgasms all day long, every day. Incredibly disruptive. Incredibly disruptive and not so fun. I'm walking down the street, I'm walking my dog, and I just... like getting electrical shocks all day long. Especially frustrating when something bad happens. Like, oh, your parents died. And I had an orgasm. Yeah. I'm so sad at the funeral. Ugh. Damn it! Stop that! It's true. It's a true trouble, a true extremely uncomfortable condition that people in real life suffer from. How do you think your job interview is going to go for that new job you want when you have 3 orgasms during the middle of the interview? Yeah. Yeah. You're not going to get the job. You're not going to get hired to work with children. You're not going to get hired to work with the public. No. Unless you decide that you want to join Nina Hartley and be a porn star for life. Oh, here. Tesis has another scruples questions. You discover that your wonderful 1-year-old child is because of a mix-up in the hospital, not actually yours, what do? Do you do it crazy? Hook up with the people who have the... What do? Switched at birth. Now you really want your own child, and the other couple wants their own child. And you spent a year confusing a child. You give it back, trade. Sorry. This one cries too much anyhow. Take it. I think no matter what you do, there's going to be a lot of therapy involved for everyone. My suggestion is don't trust doctors and nurses. When you go to the hospital, bring a Sharpie. Bring a Sharpie to the delivery room. Write your name on your child as soon as it comes out. No baby is taken out of the room without a name written on it. That way when you go to the nursery, when you bring the baby home, permanent marker on the baby. It'll wear off after a couple weeks. That way you make sure that you're going home with the baby that you think you're supposed to go home with. Linda says she's going to write it on the baby's face. Linda's baby. Yeah, because you know what? Sometimes hospitals do mess up. Not just giving the wrong baby, but giving the wrong operation. I would take the Sharpie. If you're going in for an operation on your right knee, make sure you write on it, operate on this knee, because it does happen. Oops. Wrong knee. Oh, my bad. Yeah, that happens. Wrong patient, wrong surgery. I just read an article about a woman who went into the hospital. She was wrong patient, got the brain surgery. And then the hospital tried to cover it up. Oh, it gave a woman brain surgery. He didn't go in for brain surgery. Cut off half her head. She ended up going into a coma and then dying. And the hospital has the gall to try and argue that we didn't hurt her. We cut open her head, took out half her brain, but we didn't really hurt her. Except, well, she did die a couple months later. But hey, she was old. Yeah, wrong patient got the brain surgery. I would not trust people, you know, because you go in, you got 10 different doctors, everybody's got a chart, charts get switched. Take a Sharpie. No matter what you're going to the hospital, take a Sharpie, because when you're unconscious, who knows what's going on. Make sure you write, John Smith, write it on your chest. John Smith is here for an ear operation. Linda says she has permanent marker on her face and it won't come off. It will eventually, Linda. It's impossible not for permanent marker not to come off of your face because, as we know, your skin is continually flaking off. The skin you have today is not the skin you'll have in 3 months from now because you're continually losing layers and layers of skin. Linda says that's what she thought, but not yet. Well, it eventually will come off. I think I don't know how quickly it is. It probably varies. The speed of your cell turnover varies from person to person and depending on how old you are. But I think like every 6 months, you have a completely new skin. I think David Jones says, why do tattoos last forever? I think the tattoo ink is below the skin. Yeah, because if you get a cut, if you get a scar, if you have a scar, that what happens is the skin that keeps reproduces the scar. But your skin cannot reproduce an ink mark. So this guy is getting a tattoo for his birthday. Make sure whatever tattoo you get is spelled correctly. Nothing worse than a tattoo with a misspelled word. Nothing says dumbass more than a misspelling on a tattoo. Yeah, and that happens a lot. Because don't presume your tattoo artist is a good speller. You end up with angle instead of angel. Yes, I think there's pages on the internet of tattoo fails. You could probably look it up. Of people with tattoos where, yes, misspelled words. Don't let that happen to you, Sturgis guy. Tisa says, if you could choose your last meal, what would that meal consist of? Probably salmon, yes. Salmon is one of my favorite foods. Salmon, some shellfish, some vegetables, some dessert. All the things I eat, the healthy food I eat, I actually really like. I really do like healthy food. So, oh my goodness, it's already 6 o'clock. How did that happen? Oh, good for you, Linda. I'm glad you're working out. All right, so I am just about to sign off. I want to thank everybody for coming to see me because you're awesome. Thank you for all the great questions, for the stupid questions, eh? I hope it was stupid enough for you. Let me say goodbye to everybody. Allura Star and Shocker and Sturgis Guy and T-Sis and House of Dave and Sam and St. Clinton and Eric and Petey and Tim and Ryan and Photo and Philip and Mark Mean and Star Raven and Angie Jonas and Fairies Lover and Lucky Girl and Azure Yusuf and the Cram and Marcel and Jim Dandy and Sturgis Guy and N1QOV and Joe Barney and Bill Knaus and Scott Kimmis and Angie Jonas and Fairies Lover and Philip and Sam and St. Clinton. Wing Doggy, thank you for checking in. Let me make sure I got everyone. This is for everybody. I love you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love you. Tomorrow's Funny Friday, where we share jokes to put everyone in a good mood for the weekend. So I hope you'll have some jokes to share with everybody. And I think I posted a picture yesterday. Probably post some more. Did I get some? And no, I was awake till 4 in the morning. So far, no more sightings of the deranged man. I have gotten emails from my friendly neighborhood police. We're making regular patrols. Nobody has seen him since Monday. So, but it's good to know that they are giving it attention and taking this seriously. So I really appreciate that. So kisses for everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. I love you. Bye. I love you. Bye.